Hey guys, welcome back for the fourth and final installment of this project. Today I'm going to be showing you how to work on these straps. So a little bit of a variation to the tie around the neck halter. And I just simply added the yarn that I was working in at the top. I chose to go with red and I chained 30 and then just joined it at the top of the green row. Now I would recommend you do this on your model if at all possible or on yourself. Otherwise, the measurements still carry out. It's 30 chains, 35, 40, 45 in increasing order for each size. Now, I'm going to be edging with a secondary color, and I went with the pink just because it precedes the red in the rainbow. I'm going to join with a slip stitch and then chain up one, and as you're going to notice, I'm working not around the loop, but literally into the back post of each stitch. And single crochet. See, right into the back loop, and there are still two loops on the other side, as if I was working basically like I would be doing a chain foundation or a foundation chain. I'm going to work into the second join space, so the space between the two rows that you join and then chain up, and then two more stitches in the chain space. So we are going to be working in multiples of 3 on this one, and we're going to work our entire way around until we have, I haven't counted how many stitches, but there's quite a few. So there's 3 per row plus the 30 stitches that you're going to make for the strap. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit and show you what it's going to look like. You can follow along or pause and skip ahead once you've reached the straps. Once you've made your way all the way to the strap, we're going to be working into the first row, which is basically the edging of the collar, and then right into the back slip stitch of the first joined stitch. So that also counts as a stitch of one of your 30 stitches basically. And just work into the back third loop, I guess you could say, of every chain. And it gives you a really nice finish. Like, this is not a necessary step. I only did it because Haley specifically requested that I thicken her straps. Otherwise, I would have just left the chain straps and then just did the edging and finished it off like that. But I'm going to continue working up the edging of the strap just to finish it off. And we'll get into the layered skirt section very soon. I joined with a slip stitch to the first chain that the first single crochet that we made, and play up my scissors, tie that off, and just sew in your ends when you're done. I won't be doing that on camera, I don't think you need it, but this is what it looks like once both sides are done. Now you could continue working on the interior edging, but I didn't bother. Part 2, the layered skirt. Now again, this is a personal choice. I decided to start layering after the second row of the skirt once it flared out. However, looking at it now, I really wish I had gone back and started this right at the purple, but I didn't. So we're going to open up this skirt and work on the inside. You can be facing either way, it really doesn't matter. Do what's most comfortable for you. And we're going to be working a back post double crochet around every stitch of the second to last row. So for this skirt, it's the third row of color before the change. And just basically back post double crochet all the way across. We're going to skip the chain spaces because inevitably there are chain spaces. And we're going to skip those by simply chaining one and continuing our back post double crochet into the other stitches around until we get back to this point. Now I've joined with a slip stitch to the first stitch and I'm joining my second color. The second color obviously being the continuation of the rainbow, and I'm going to continue working in the pattern. So just follow up the pattern from that previous row. For this case it was 14 double crochet and a chain one space. So for the first row of the red we are going to be working with, as you will be able to see in just a moment, it's going to be a 10 double crochet, chain one, 2 double crochet in the chain space, chain one, and continue on with our second row of the pattern. Like so, as you can see, it continues to follow as if it were still connected. If you look through the inside, you're going to notice that it does indeed follow. See? Now, I did this for the 4 required rows, and then I did a final row of edging on the edge of each flare skirt. So in order to do that, I just chain up basically one. And this time I wanted to make sure I was working on the front side facing so that it gives it a nice finish. And just work a single crochet into every stitch and every chain space around. Once that's done, just repeat from the beginning to layer basically as many layers as you want. I only added 2. I ended with the last color being the orange. Haley's bugging me to add a yellow row, though I may. This is what it looks like once completed. And you can't even see the join. If you were to flip it and wear it inside out, your pattern would follow all the way through. So yeah, that's basically how I did it. and I decided to add this portion so that you guys can have options. Check out all of the other videos. I will list them here. Parts 1, 2, 3, how to make the posy earrings, and how to make the granny squared backpack or tote bag. I will add all the extra details in my blog and in the downloadable PDF.